Okay, a very good morning to one and all. So today's topic of discussion is executive compensation. Myself, Professor Bharti Sundar from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. Okay, so what is this executive compensation? So we have studied what is compensation and why it is actually provided to the employees of the organization. Executive compensation is something which is actually given for the top management executives in the organization. So it may be business leaders, it may be senior management, it may be CEO level, or it may be MD level people who are not owners, but they are working at the topmost decision making level in the organization. So they are the one who are in charge of running the whole organization as such, or take any important decisions related to the company. So for them, if you want to retain them and attract them towards your organization, you need something called as a special package, something called as an executive compensation. So other than the salary part, they will be getting lot of benefits from the companies in terms of perks, in terms of incentives, in terms of shares of the company, in terms of insurance of the whole family. So all such kind of, sorry,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am, you mute all other participants.
Yes, yes, I'll do that. There was some network problem here. I forgot to mute it. Okay. Yes. So, this executive compensation is given to those people who are working at the topmost level in the organization, who are involved of making decisions which affect the organization in a very large extent. Let us take if the topmost management is planning to launch a new product. So that is going to affect the organization at large in terms of sales, in terms of market shares, or anything like that. So such kind of people are given some special packages so that they are retained back in the company, because they are very important for the company. Company cannot take risk of changing these executive employees every now and then, right? So if one employee joins that company, minimum of 5 years or 10 years down the line, they'll be working for that company. So that is how they are supposed to retain back, so that the company does not get affected in terms of their performance here. So as I told you, executive compensation mainly includes benefits such as, other than salary, such as perks, incentives, stock options, insurance of the family or an individual, etc. Such kind of active things are being given to the executives to retain them back in the organization. So in India, what kind of things are considered or factors are considered while deciding upon the executive compensation? So the more the risk, the more the complex the job is, the more the the compensation is being fixed up here. So in India, job complexity, it may be the employer's ability to pay and the productivity what that person is giving for the company. So these main factors are considered especially while deciding upon what kind of compensation has to be given to the executive class, that is the topmost management class in the organization. So job complexity in the sense, it may be in terms of risk taking abilities of the executives, or it may be in terms of decision making, right? So if they take a decision that is going to affect the whole organization, if they are going to take a risk of launching a new product, or launching a new service, or you can say a new package or a promotional offer to its customers. So that means somewhere it is going to affect the organization at large. So such kind of jobs wherein complex decisions are taken, and those decisions may involve the whole organization. It may be negative or positive also sometimes. So it will be influencing the whole organization. So that kind of jobs, those jobs are very complex in nature. So for them, you need something called as an extra package so that you can retain them back in the organization. That is one. Second is employer's ability to pay. Here, of course, every company's ability to pay, that will be the major basic reason for deciding upon what compensation they are going to fix up their and to their employees. So let us say if it is Google, Google is ready to pay a candidate 10 lakh rupees per month. But there may be another company who is not able to pay 10 lakh rupees per month because they don't have that ability to pay them, right? But they want that person. So here it depends on the ability to pay to attract those kind of special people who are really valuable for the organization. There is something called as in HR terminology headhunting. Okay, headhunting is a kind of a business wherein uh, these are consultancies, agencies. What they do is they will identify the requirements of a big company, what kind of executives they need, and depending upon their requirement, they start hunting for the heads means executive class people. So in which organization there are suitable people who can be fit in the client's requirement. So they will start identifying them. Sometimes, convincing those people to leave the previous organization and shift to the new organization may take up to 6 months to 1 year also, because what happens is companies are not ready to leave them. They are ready to increase their packages and benefits, but they are not ready to leave them, because if they leave immediately, if they leave the organization immediately, the organization performance somewhere is going to get affected. So in that case, headhunting consultancy firms, what they do is, there are experts in working in these consultancy firms. They build rapport with these executives, and slowly they pitch in that there is a vacancy in other company. And slowly they will try to convince him or her to leave the existing job and shift to the other company. So what is the benefit for this consultants? Uh, the kind of salary these executive people are getting in the companies, 1 month salary or 2 month salary or 3 month salary of them will be the compensation given by the client company to these consultancy firms. So headhunting business is at large working very popularly in especially metropolitan cities here. So if you are able to pay more, you are able to get the best. Otherwise, you have to adjust to what is that you are going to get according to the ability of your pay schemes, right? So that is employer's ability to pay. You cannot come just like a small company of around 20-30 lakh investment has started in Bangalore. They want a executive who is worth around 5 lakh or 10 lakh rupees per month. They cannot pay it because their investment itself is 20-30 lakh. They'll not be able to pay that much of salary to him, right? So that is why employer's ability to pay will decide how much compensation you are going to give it to your executives. The best decision makers are employed by today Mukesh Ambani for Reliance Jio, which is helping him to take the best decisions and go ahead in the market and become the market leader in the telecom industry. So executives, whatever decisions are that they are taking, it is going to affect the organization at large. Then managerial productivity. Of course, this is one more factor wherein the compensation is fixed up. What kind of profit you are giving the company, or what kind of productivity or performance you are giving the company, what difference you are making the company, that will also decide your executive compensation package. So in India especially, these are the major three factors which are considered for executive compensation package. Right. So what are the major six components, especially the senior executives in the corporation normally get? So basic salary will always be there. That is the base salary. Second is short-term based annual incentives. It may be just like examples are bonus, right? They are short-term in nature. So it may be 6 months or annual incentives what they get. Then we have long-term incentive plans. Long term in the sense 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line, they are going to get the incentives. They have to wait till 3 years till they complete the project and give the performance, increase the productivity of the organization, and then they have to accept the long-term incentives. So that is why it is called as long-term incentives. Other than that, there will be some extra benefits also given, perk visits given, and some contingent payments. So we'll look into each of them in detail with some examples. So what is this basic salary? The base salary for the executive pay is normally the stated annual salary packages. Of course, it may be paid monthly or bi-weekly or annually, or it may be like bi-annually, whatever it is. It is like a similar salaried stuff. In India, it is normally paid on monthly basis. Let us say the package is for 50 lakh, 60 lakh. Every month he will be paid 5 lakh rupees salary. So that is the base salary what he is going to get every month. In that basic salary, you may deduct his PF or tax or some installments towards some loans or anything like that. So, but base salary will be fixed. That is gross salary of 5 lakh rupees per month. Then, as I told, short-term incentives are there. So, short-term incentives especially depend upon certain objectives. So, this year, if you increase the market share by 20%, we are going to give you such kind of incentives. If this year you are going to increase the profit margin by 8% to 10%, so your extra facilities or incentives will be given to you based on that profit margin, whatever has been earned by the company. So you may be asking, like, madam, where the executives are they going to go and work there? No, but still they make their teams, or they make the people who are working under them to work and achieve the short-term objectives of the company here. So the purpose of annual or biannual incentives, especially short-term incentives, is to compensate the executives for achieving the short-term objectives of the company here. So it may be in terms of achieving goals specified for the company by the company board of directors. The nature of these goals normally depends upon the business, company strategy, and other conditions. Like this year, if they have set up a target growth of 30%, it may not be possible because of COVID-19 attack in the whole world. So here they have to relook into their goals and objectives. You cannot set up the same standards in certain market conditions. Okay, so the objectives, annual objectives of the company, for example, can be to increase the revenue or market share of the company, to improve the profit margins of the company, to implement some new corporate strategies in the company, then to develop some new products for the company, to expand the new markets, to ensure that those new products are performing well in the market, to complete some critical important project for the company. So by doing all these, somewhere these are all short term in nature. If you are able to complete them successfully, you will be eligible for short term incentives. Short term incentives can be in the form of stock options. It can be in form of extra hike in salaries, some commissions based on the profit margins or market shares. It can be in the form of some investment plans, anything, right? So it depends on the company to decide what kind of short-term incentives they are going to give. Then coming to these long-term incentives, normally if the company is running a new big project for around 3 to 5 years or something like that, okay, so these long-term incentive schemes are going to come into picture here. So if, let us say, the company has launched a new strategic business unit, okay, so this strategic business unit has to reach its BEP point, break even point. It will take around 3 years. So once it reaches the break even point and starts giving profits to the company, the locking period is there for these executives. Okay, they are not paid any incentives till that 3 years. After 3 years, when the company starts performing and they start they start getting profits from that new strategic business unit, the long-term incentives are also paid to the executives here. The main purpose of the long-term executives is long-term incentives is to reward the executives for the achievement of company's strategic objectives and also maximize the shareholder value here. So it may be this, the best examples for long-term incentives is employee stock option plans, ESOP, ESOP, employee stock option plans here. What are these? These employee stock option plans are nothing but part of the shares of that company are assigned to these executives. Okay, the worth of around 10 lakh rupee shares. okay, worth of around 20 lakh rupees shares. So a huge amount, once the project is completed, maybe if that strategic business unit is running really excellently well, 5% or 2% of the shares are transferred in the name of that executive who is in charge of that whole strategic business unit. So by doing so, what is happening is you're trying to make him a part owner of that company. So when you as an executive become the owner of that company, obviously you will start working more harder to ensure that the company is performing better. And when the company performs better, you're also a part of a part of that company as an owner, as a shareholder here. You'll also be getting profits out of it, right? So that sense of ownership feeling comes up in the executives, especially on the company here. So that is what is a long-term incentive here. The employees, keep in mind, ESOP is one example. Stock options or performance vested stock options, both are same. So stock options are shares. Performance vested stock options are the based on your performance, your shares are being allotted to you. So, but as I told you, because it is long term, the lock-in period is around for 3 to 5 years. With the executive not receiving any pay in terms of incentive until the end of that performance period. So everything will be kept pending. After the 3 years, all the with arrears and everything will be paid to the executives here. So the long-term incentive goals vary from company to company, but most prevalent are focused on returning to the shareholders, earning per share, and other return measures such as return on assets. So these are the major expected performance areas from the executives when it comes to long-term incentives. Increase the earning per share, or else also work on increasing the return on assets for the company. So if you are able to achieve this within 3 or 5 years, you will be eligible for these long-term incentives. Then comes this employee benefits. So these employee benefit programs are very normal, and most of them are eligible for these things on compulsory basis. It can be in terms of social security, it can be in terms of home allowance, that is housing allowance. It can be in terms of medical insurance facilities through Medicare. Uh, it can be like some unemployment insurance. Suddenly you lose the strategic business unit stops working, or it is in losses, and suddenly you are out of job. So you have to be given some unemployment insurance for at least 3 months or 5 months down the line, so that you can search for a new company and go ahead with the job there. Then workers' compensations are very simple here. So extra hike in the salaries, or some incentives based on the performance. So such kind of benefits can be given to even executive class members. Other than that, vacations, holidays, sick days, severance pay, life insurance, and medical insurance facilities are also given here. So vacation, in the sense, every year some vacation, paid vacation, we call it actually as paid vacation. So this paid vacation means you'll be given 10-15 days to go on a vacation with your family, and that whole vacation cost will be borne by the company. At the same time, that 10-15 days will be considered as vacation days, and you'll be getting paid, your salary is going to be also paid on those vacation days here. So that is vacation, paid vacation here. And then comes the holidays pays. Just like if the company is on a holiday, on annual holidays or anything, uh, holidays or anything, so there also the compensation is being paid on such kind of holidays. Then we have right now, like there is a lockdown period and all the companies are closed up, but still they are partly working. Okay, even we are having holidays, we are being paid. So such kind of situations may also be considered as pay for these holidays. Then comes here sick days. Let us say if you are sick for 10-15 days or 1 month continuously. Yeah, so even on these days also sometimes salaries are being paid. But some companies take a decision of paying part payment here. Let us say a full 30 days you have gone on leave for 6 days, sick days, only 60%, 70% of your salary is going to be paid. Such kind of decisions are also taken up by the companies. Severance pay is something if you are terminating the person before the contract period. Okay, so such kind of situation, some extra payment is given to these kind of employees. So that is what is called as severance pay here. So once the termination, let us say if the contract is for 5 years, you are terminating him at the 4th year itself due to some company reasons. It is not related to his performance or anything. Due to some company reasons, you are trying to terminate him. So at that time, you have to give that severance pay to him. It is a kind of a bulk payment for him to compensate his losses, which he is going to incur without having the job in the company. Then we have life insurance facilities and medical insurance facilities. We all know about it. So these are some employee benefits which are given to the executive class people. Perks. Perks are something additional other than the salaries or benefits or incentives which these executive class are going to get. Most of the time, guys, employee benefits at least are given to all the categories of employees in the organization. But especially these perquisites are something which are given to the top class people in the organization. Something like driver facilities, vehicle facilities, commutation from home to work and work to home facilities, convenient parking facilities, separate parking space for them so that they don't waste time on their parking facilities. Then installation of home communication systems like internet facilities. It may be for connectivity. It may be like for conducting a webinar or a web meeting. So online meetings or anything like that. So such kind of arrangements are made in the home so that they don't find any difficulty. Then also some financial planning like investing whatever he has given he has performed in the company. In terms of perks, what they do is they invest the same money in some shares or some other investment plans. So that is what is financial planning. So that is one more benefit they will get from the company side. And sometimes you may also get an opportunity to use company airplanes for your personal travel. Okay, so that is there. So security, especially if you are in the topmost positions and there is a threat to your life or your family life, you may be given security at both home as well as traveling. Especially CEOs of the company do get this kind of securities, right? So like Sundar Pichai of Google, who is a Google head, he gets a tight security when it comes to home as well as traveling here. So such kind of extra facilities other than in terms of cash or kind. Okay, so whatever you are getting, so these are all purposes. Then we have performance contingent pay here. So performance contingent pay is something, let us say like uh, the company has sold the unit to some other company. Okay, and you as a CEO is going to lose your job. In that circumstances, because of the loss of the job due to that sale or mergers or anything like that, you have to be compensated heavily because you are losing your job in that situation. Okay, so that is what is performance contingent pay here. Why this word performance and contingent is being used here is these are contingent situations, just like selling the whole unit where the executive is working as the head there. Okay, so that is a contingent, or that is a kind of a popular situation. Normally it does not occur in the company. At the same time, here in this whole process they have to perform also. Even though they know that they are going to lose the job, they have to perform here. That is why it is called as performance contingent pay. Many executives are also covered by severance pay here. Severance, I told you what it is, which provide payments to the executives in case of involuntary termination, except in the event of termination for a cause. So if he is not performing, that is different case. But if he is performing but still you are removing him from the company to for a certain policy of the company or some reason for the company, you have to give them this kind of a compensation. So they are often included in agreements, especially contract agreements of the job agreement paper only, that you are supposed to pay performance contingent pay of so much worth to the person if you are removing him before the contract period. So such kind of arrangements have to be made in the document, and you can claim this pay. Change in control agreements are something which is also known as golden parachutes. Why these are called as golden parachutes is, even though the executives are going to lose their jobs during the mergers or sales, but still they have to work for the company so that that whole merger process or the sale process is completed successfully. With that motivation, they have to work. So to keep them motivated, to provide them that additional protection, right, this change of control or golden parachute system has been brought in. And what happens is, because they are going to get a big lump sum amount from the company as a golden parachute, they will put their 100% effort in focusing on completing the sale or merger activity for the company. So that is what is performance contingent pay. These are varieties of pays which are given to the executive class people in the organization. Now, how to retain these talents? Of course, you have to always ensure that it may be, that is why they are called as executive class, because they are the best talented people in the organization. The other people cannot match them in terms of problem solving or decision making abilities. So here, whenever you want to retain them, ensure that they are properly communicated in terms of their salaries, in terms of the benefits what they are getting, in terms of the decisions what they are going to take, or anything in terms of job related aspects. Everything has to be clearly communicated to them. Then